Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks. How could you attend these freak-offs and you knew that these kids were underage? See, I'm concerned with the adults that was at these parties who, were given, those intoxicating substances against their will, but they had a choice to be at that party.
I'm talking about the victims that are still going through this right now with other people who are running to cover their and deleting their social medias. Pink, Megan Fox, Tyra Banks, Steve Harvey.
Say what now? Not Tyra Banks starting the year off by exposing Naomi Campbell for servicing young models to Diddy for freak-offs. Baby, we should have known 2025 was gonna be messy when the year literally started with a WTF. Tyra Banks and Naomi Campbell have been silently beefing for over a decade now. And at first, people thought it was because they was both supermodels in the 90s and their egos just got the best of them. But word on the street is Tyra actually found out about Naomi's dirty affairs with Diddy, and she was not having it. Allegedly, Naomi has been out here tricking unsuspecting male and females into becoming for Diddy with the promise of using her connections to make them famous. Most of these models are apparently shipped all the way from Africa and a bunch of other third world countries to indulge in some very gruesome things. And at the very end of it, they're never given what they were promised. Now the crazy thing is, nobody was actually expecting Tyra to be part of this list. All of this was put on blast by the ex-model Allison Carter in a series of videos that she's been posted onto her Instagram since 2021. When Allison first started posting these videos, folks was calling her crazy and accused her of clout chasing. However, after the allegations about Diddy came out and people found out how deeply rooted this entire mess actually is, Allison spun the block again to tell us everything she knows, and people are finally paying attention. In a recent video that she put up, she accused Tyra Banks, Megan Fox, and even Steve Harvey of putting things in place to run away from the country as soon as they got incriminated, because they're also allegedly involved in all this mess with Diddy.
We're not talking about the victims that are still going through this right now with other people who are running to cover and deleting their social medias. Pink, Megan Fox, Tyra Banks, Steve Harvey. Why you running?
Allison name-dropping Tyra in this is very interesting to say the least, because people initially thought she was one of the good guys, and that the reason she fell out with both Naomi and Diddy was because she found out what they had been getting into. However, it turns out she was also in on it, and also servicing these models to Diddy through her popular show, America's Next Top Model. These rumors only got worse when Tyra was also exposed by some ex-contestants of the show for allegedly mistreating them severely on the show, and even bringing up their past traumas to taunt them into doing things they wouldn't usually do. These allegations got so bad that Tyra deleted her social media accounts and disappeared from the internet for a couple months. See, back in 2006, the popular blog badboyforever.com, which used to report exclusive info about Diddy and all the artists of Bad Boy Entertainment, they spilled the tea about Diddy showing up to the Tyra Banks show in a helicopter to surprise her. Tyra also reportedly surprised him with a present for his twins, who was still unborn at the time, and they went on to have a lot of fun together after that. The article read, Sean Diddy Combs has given a new meaning to the word excess. The rapper recently arrived for an appearance on the Tyra Banks show in a helicopter. Awaiting him on the landing pad was a red carpet, a couple strategically placed butlers, tons of screaming female fans, and last but not least, a microphone. But Diddy isn't the only one with an extravagant flair. Host Tyra Banks gave the artist a special gift for his unborn twin daughters, a double stroller complete with built-in speakers and the mobile phone attachments. Apparently, the reason Diddy went all out for her like this was because she was one of his suppliers, and this was just one of the many gestures that he made for his people in his circle. Just like the time he flew all the way to London with Young Miami to surprise Naomi with a cake for getting her PhD.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Diddy only ever does these types of special things for folks in his circle. And we all know Tyra and Naomi were allegedly involved in these shenanigans. I mean, do y'all remember the time Naomi got exposed for watching Diddy spike Snoop Dogg's drink so he could have his way with him once he passed out?
Shantae walked in there and called his name one time, Calvin. In front of Naomi Campbell.
Yes, sir.
In front of Diddy.
Ever since these allegations about Diddy came out, Naomi's been trying to detach herself from him by unfollowing him on Instagram. She even attended his 54th birthday and his album release party. And mind you, all these parties came with freak-offs that went down at the after parties. And Naomi was allegedly there in attendance too. What's even shadier about Naomi is that Diddy ain't her first rodeo with questionable men. See, back in 2010, she was dragged to court to testify against the ex-Liberian president Charles Taylor after he gifted her blood diamonds during her stay at Nelson Mandela's house in South Africa. Charles acquired all these diamonds by basically unaliving, SAing, and cutting the hands and legs of defenseless Sierra Leone civilians. But Naomi allegedly didn't care as long as she got to wear those diamonds too.
No, well, I didn't really want to be here, so I was made to be here. So obviously I'm just like wanting to get this over with and get on with my life.
You received a diamond from
I
Charles.
didn't receive a diamond, and I'm not going to speak about that. Thank you very much. And I'm not here for that.
Well, we've been told that you didn't help the prosecution sort of in this very important case.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. I had a knock at my door, and I opened my door, and two men were there and gave me a pouch and said, "A gift for you."
Did you ask them who they were?
No, I was extremely tired. When they gave me the pouch, I just put it next to my bed and went back to bed.
What did you think the stones were?
They were kind of dirty looking pebbles. They were dirty, I don't know. When I'm used to seeing diamonds, I'm used to seeing diamonds shiny and in a box, you know. Someone hadn't said they were diamonds, I wouldn't have guessed right away that they were diamonds.
Nobody believed a word she said because her former assistant, Carol White, and actress Mia Farrow, who were both with her on the trip, said Naomi knew exactly where them diamonds came from, and she was more than willing to take them. Carol said Naomi was flirting with Charles the entire night, and that when diamonds were given to her, she was very excited and even showed them to her. And then, of course, there's Jeffrey Epstein, who Naomi was also allegedly involved in helping to commit some very serious crimes. After Jeffrey was arrested, it was revealed that Naomi was allegedly at Epstein's island too. The feds claim she took 5 flights aboard the Lolita Express in 2001 and 2003. 2 originated in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where Epstein owned his own island that was known to be a place of debauchery. A couple of the flights went to the Sao Paulo, Brazil area.
I was introduced to him on my 31st birthday by my ex-boyfriend Flavio. He was always front and center at Victoria's Secret shows.
Did you suspect what he was doing?
No. And what he's done is indefensible. And when I heard of what he'd done, it sickened me to my stomach, just like everybody else. Because I've had my fair share of predators. And thank God that I had good people around me that protected me from this. I mean, right now I stand with the victims. They're scarred for life.
Now, do y'all remember what I said about them people accusing Tyra and Naomi of allegedly servicing those girls into becoming Diddy's freak-off toys in exchange for a modeling contract? These rumors got even worse when Kenyan influencer Elsa Majibo exposed Naomi for luring her into her circle and introducing her to multiple wealthy men in an effort to get her into relationships with them.
Naomi was coming to Nairobi to do some shopping. She was on holiday, but on a remote place. So she was in Nairobi doing shopping. And I texted her and she told me she's in Nairobi. So I was so excited to meet her. She was the first celebrity I was ever going to meet. Guys, I was through the roof. She texted me, she was like, "Hey, I'm here." She texted me the location. I went directly. I went with my brother. So my brother and I, we met her, we did some shopping. And as we're shopping, she's like, "Oh, you know, the plane that's taking us back actually has a couple more seats. Do you and your brother want to join us on holiday?" Hell yes. So I was like, oh, that would be so lovely. She introduced me to a couple of people in Hollywood. It was so lovely. So a couple of people she was on vacation with were coming to Nairobi after the vacation. They were staying at the Kempinski. So I went to see them at the Kempinski when the whole thing was over. So I sat down with them. I was talking to one of them, and one of them was like, oh, it's so, like, how did you meet Naomi? And I was like, oh no, I texted her on Instagram, blah blah. And she was like, oh yeah, she told us like she made you and she built you and she made your career. And I was like, what? No, that's not what happened. And I was like, you mean like helped me and like promoted me? And she was like, no, like what you have is because of her. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that didn't happen. So time goes by. March 2022. We have jumped into March 2022. I get a phone call. My phone is ringing. Naomi Campbell. Oh, so I pick up. I'm like, hey sis, like how are you? How are you doing? And she's like, Elsa, how dare you? Oh! So I'm in shock, right? I'm in shock. I don't know what's going on. And she said, I have the Met Gala. And she was like, this is the last time I'm speaking to you. Have a nice life. And she hung up. Which I was very saddened by the situation, right? But I was like, if that's how she truly feels, because I respect people's space. So I was like, if that's how she truly feels, fine, it's okay. So I let it go. So after that, like a few months, things started going very badly for me. Things started going haywire. And I didn't think it was, I thought it was because of the situation, let me not lie. But I was like, also it can be stress. So I was like, let me go. Because also having someone like Naomi Campbell not liking you in the industry is not a good thing. So I went to her, I apologized. I'd already apologized when the situation had happened, but I went and I apologized again and again.
According to Allison, these unsuspecting aspiring models that were forced into these freak-offs, especially the men, had an even harder time. Allison claims that if any of the men getting bent over ended up having to poop, they would make them lay in it because some of these industry men have fetishes.
Watching an episode called Pig Night, when I went, they tried to feed us, and I remember it because when
Pig
you
night.
have to do
Say what?
orders, jobs like that, you don't eat. You're not allowed to eat. You actually have to like starve yourself, because when you have to do those type of jobs, you can't eat because you will throw up.
Really?
If you are doing, or if you are a guy doing it, you will shit everywhere.
Oh boy.
When this happens, your parents will get mad at you. Really mad at you. And if that is a fetish for someone, they use that to their advantage. So if you throw up on someone, you will have to eat it. If you shit on someone, you will have to lay in it.
As usual, people had their own thoughts about this. Like this person who said, on America's Next Top Model, Tyra Banks frequently made comments like, "Are you gonna go all the way? Are you willing to go all the way?" I often wondered what those statements meant when they were being made. Another person said, Tyra was involved with Devil Diddy filthy business. OMG, they acted in front of the world. They are nothing but disgusting. Wow. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Tyra and Naomi Campbell getting exposed? And do y'all think Allison is telling the truth? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.